Hi everyone, it's me Grace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to know when you're making progress in a language. Because learning a language can be a really long process and it's really easy to lose motivation, especially when you don't feel like you're making a lot of progress. But a lot of the time, we are making progress, but we're just not noticing it. But in today's video, I'm going to show you guys some small little things that show you that you're making progress and that you're that bit closer to becoming fluent. So let's just get straight into it. So the first thing that I want to say is if you're listening to a song that you like, that you've been listening to a while, that you didn't really understand before and you're noticing that you're starting to understand. So I actually have a video on how to learn a language with music because I think it's really, really important to listen to music when you're learning a language. Music is such a really it's a really useful resource. So I'll link that video down below in the description. Definitely go and watch it. But basically, in that video, I say to kind of summarize a little bit. When you listen to a song in that language, I think it's really important to learn the lyrics and to sing along because that's really going to help your pronunciation, And then maybe you can look at the English translation to really just to know what you're singing about, just to know the general message of the song. But you might not understand every single word. As you're singing, you probably won't understand what you're saying line by line unless you really analyze the translation and you really poured over it. But if you just read the translation 1 or 2 times, chances are when you're singing a song, you're not going to remember what every single line means. So let's say you then, you listen to a song and then you stop listening to it for a while, and then a few weeks later, or I don't know, a few months later, you listen to it again, and you realize that you're singing it because you've learned the lyrics, right? So you're singing it. And as you sing, you're like, hold on, I know what that means. Hold on, I actually understand what I'm singing. I actually know what I'm saying. Because before, you would just sing it, but you wouldn't actually know exactly what every single word you're saying means. This time, you're singing it, and you're actually understanding. And that's just, I think it's the best feeling ever when you sing a song that you've sung so many times and you didn't understand, and then it just clicks and you're like, oh my gosh, So this actually happened to me recently. I was listening to a song in Mandarin Chinese. It's called Lao Shu Ai Da Mi. So it's the mouse loves rice, right? Mouse loves rice, basically. And it's a really old song. It's a classic. I love the song. And so I was singing it on the way to school. And as I was singing it, I realized, I hadn't listened to it in a while, right? So, I was singing it and I was like, oh my gosh, I actually understand what I'm singing. Oh my gosh. And it was the best feeling ever. So I think it was if I can sing it, I can't sing, but I'm just going to sing a little bit of the song just to show you guys. So one of the parts that I was singing along to and I was like, whoa, is in the chorus when she's like, 我想你，想着你，不管有多么的苦，只要能让你开心，我什么都愿意。这样爱你. So I was singing that. I was like, oh my gosh, I actually understand. It was just the best feeling ever. So yeah, if that happened, or maybe you listen to a new song and you actually understand a lot of it, and that's not really a common occurrence for you, then it's a sign that you're making progress. The second thing that I want to say is if you can notice accents. So this actually depends on the language, because I feel for English, the accents are very distinct. A British accent, an English London accent, sounds completely different to an American accent. So even for a new learner of English, it's probably going to be easy to hear the difference, right? But I think, for example, in a language like Japanese, the accents aren't that different. They aren't that clear, right? For example, standard Japanese, the Japanese that they speak in Tokyo, for example, if you were to say yesterday, you would say it kino, 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 right? Kino. So kino, orange o tabeta. Yesterday I ate an orange, or kino gakkou ni ikimashita. Yesterday I went to school, right? If you were from Kansai, which is an area in Japan, you wouldn't say it kino. You would say it kino. So it's just the intonation. It just slightly changes, very, very slightly. So, and as a learner, when you first start learning, you probably won't be able to hear that kino and kino. You probably won't be able to notice that straight away because you're just learning, right? But, if you then got to a point where you hear a Japanese person speaking and you're like, they're from Kansai, they're from Tokyo, they're from Yokohama, they're from this place, that's really a sign that your ears have really gotten used to the Japanese language and that, you're really becoming more like familiar with it. Also, I apologize for like the lighting changes. I think the sun just set, so it's starting to get a bit dark. I think when I first started learning, like the other day, I was on YouTube trying to find some like new Mandarin Chinese music, and then I listened to a song and I was thinking, this person kind of sounds Taiwanese, they have a Taiwanese accent, and then I searched them up and they actually were from Taiwan. And when I first started learning Mandarin, I definitely would not have been able to tell the difference between a mainland Chinese accent and a Taiwanese accent, because it isn't that different, but the fact that now I'm able to is a sign that I'm becoming more familiar with Mandarin, and that my brain is really just like my Mandarin knowledge is just going deeper, the fact that I can hear accents. So if you can start to notice accents, it is a sign that you are getting better and that you're making progress. And finally, the third tip, not tip, but like the third sign that you're making progress is if you start to actually just thinking that language, and like even when you're not trying to speak it, and you might just like, it might just come out. Like sometimes, something will happen to me and I'm like, Majikayo. Like I'm not even trying to speak Japanese, or I'm not even doing it on purpose, but unconsciously I'll say Majikayo, which is like, oh seriously, like maybe something bad happened, like I missed my bus or something, right? I'm like, oh Majikayo. Like, it would just come out. And I'm just like, whoa. Then after I'm like, where did that come from? Like, whoa, look at me, Or, I'll be sitting down, I'm like, well, hola, which means I'm hungry in Mandarin. Hola. And like, I'm not even, like doing it consciously is one thing to try and practice, but it's not even conscious. Like, I just be like, hola. You know what I mean? Or sometimes it doesn't actually, I find that sometimes it doesn't actually happen with like words, but more like exclamations. So like in English, if you're expressing surprise, you might say like, huh? Like you might say, huh? But obviously that kind of exclamation is not the same in every single language. In Mandarin, they'd probably say like, eh? Eh? That's how they say it. Or like in Cantonese, they will say like, yi? Like yi? So sometimes I find that I don't actually say huh, I say eh, or I say yi, do you know what I mean? And it's not actually a word in Mandarin or a word in Cantonese, but it's just a sign that you're really like fully, immersing yourself in that language, and your brain is fully like absorbing it, do you know what I mean? That even little things like exclamations, expressions you're starting to do in that language, So that's just a sign that your brain is really just like, your brain and your language is just like this, It's just showing that like you're getting good. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to share with you guys some signs. Obviously, these aren't the only signs that you're making progress. It's not like if this doesn't happen to you, you're not making progress. But it's just that these are some signs that you might not think about that show that you're actually making progress. If you guys have any other signs, things that you've noticed, definitely leave that in the comments below. Make sure you like this video if you liked it, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, follow me on my socials will be in the description below, and yeah, share this video as well with your family and friends, and I will see you guys in my next video.